You're watching Autour du Monde and we visit France. Welcome on Autour du Monde. If you like our content, don't forget to like our videos and subscribe to our channel. In that new episode of Autour du Monde in France, we begin our journey in Antibes to the valley of Verdon. It will be an amazing trip that we will finish close to that lake. Today, we're taking you on a road trip through the heart of southern France. A 318 kilometers journey of winding roads that will take us through the Alpes-Maritimes, the Var and the Bouches-du-Rhône departments. It will be a total of 5 hours and 30 minutes on the road and plenty of stops to discover the famous Verdon Gorges. Our first stop is Grasse, 27 kilometers from Antibes, where the Napoleon Road begins. This is in fact a national road that corresponds to the route taken by Napoleon I at the beginning of the 100 Days, when he returned from exile on Elbe. At that moment, he headed for Paris from the Côte d'Azur via Grenoble. The Napoleon Road takes us through breathtaking scenery. We're glad it's winter, as there's hardly anyone on these winding roads. With so many curves at altitude, it must be quite a sport to drive here during the high summer season. The fact that there's hardly anyone on the road means we can stop often to admire the incredible scenery, which changes every 10 kilometers. This trip is also an opportunity to discover small communities like Escragnole, Serrano, Acau-de-Caille, or Villaude, where we stopped to refuel. Our journey on the Napoleon Road ended shortly after Serrano, at La Martre to be precise, where we left the Alpes-Maritimes department for that of the Var. Oh, by the way, one of our favorite stops in the Var is the village of Trigance, situated at an altitude of 790 meters, surrounded by hilly hills overlooking the Jabron Valley. The village is also listed as a remarkable site, but unfortunately, at the time of our visit, the famous castle of Trigance, now an hotel and restaurant, was closed, as it only operates during the summer season. Welcome to the famous Verdon Gorge. Our first stop is actually a place called the Balcon de la Mescla. This is a promontory of 250 meters above where the waters of the Verdon meets its tributary, the Artuby. And it's not for nothing that the place is also known as the Grand Canyon of the Verdon, since it bears a striking resemblance to its American counterpart. This is a wild and grandiose setting where the limpid river falls around a narrow knife-edge ridge. For hikers, it's an excellent starting point for a stroll. Not far from the Balcon de la Mescla, we made a second stop at the Artuby Bridge, also known as the Bridge of the Chaulière. The arched bridge, built between 1938 and 1940, is impressive. It is said to be the highest bridge in Europe for bungee jumping. The freefall is 140 to 160 meters, depending on your weight, and apparently it gives you the unique sensation of flying. So we are now in the Verdon, in the mountains. It's fabulous. You'll have a nice view, and the mountains are spectacular. So come visit with us. A word of warning to road trip enthusiasts. The two roads overlooking the Verdon Gorge can make you dizzy. You'll also come across a few curiosities, such as the Fayet tunnel, cut right into the cliff, but with only one lane for both directions. Fortunately, we didn't come across anyone. I'm gonna take a deeper breath. As mentioned, we made many stops along the way to admire the scenery. The region abounds in hiking trails. We took a few, but you need to be well shoed, as the land can be steep. The Verdon Gorge are a series of gorges carved out by the Verdon in the middle of its course, forming a narrow valley of 25 kilometers long and up to 700 meters deep. The area is a major tourist attraction in Provence. Every year, especially during the summer months, many visitors come here to admire the exceptional panoramas that can be seen along the various Cornish roads. For our part, we choose the left bank to take the famous Corniche Sublime, a 20-kilometer road that runs from the Artuby Bridge to the village of Egin. Despite our images, which might lead you to believe that the Verdon Gorge is a deserted place where nobody goes, you should know that every year the region welcomes no fewer than 4.6 million visitors. Close your eyes. If you're lucky enough to visit in the summer, in addition to hiking trails, you can also go rock climbing or take part of a number of water sports, including kayaking and rafting. After leaving the Lake of the Sainte-Croix, we set course for Arles, where we'll spending the next few days. The distance between the lake and Arles is 185 kilometers. Given the country roads, the journey takes about 2 hours and a half.
Toute une journée dans le Verdon. Et puis là, on s'en va vers Arles. Je sais pas où c'est quelle route, mais d'abord, c'est pas loin.
Given the country roads, the journey takes about 2 hours and a half. Still, it allows us to discover several plenty villages in the heart of Provence, a region we'd like to return in the coming years. As the road was long, we made a short stop in Manosque to enjoy a coffee and a viennoiserie from the Ernest Artisan Bakery. After that long journey along some of the France's most winding roads, we ended the day in Arles, where we enjoyed an excellent burger before getting some rest.